This is the plaintiff, Dorothy Barbour. She says she and the defendant are caretakers who shared a client. So when one wasn't available to work, the other one would cover. The defendant ended up going on vacation, and she worked her shifts for 4 days. The defendant was paid for those days, owes her that money, and hasn't paid up. So she's suing for the $400 she's owed. This is the defendant, Lorraine Middleton. She says they had an agreement where no money would change hands. She owed the plaintiff 4 days of work when she couldn't make it and was ready, willing, and able to cover any time. The plaintiff, however, never asked her to cover any days. The woman they cared for was moved to another facility, and that's when she started asking her for actual money. She's still waiting to work and willing to work for the plaintiff with another client, but give her cold cash? Not happening. She's accused of not playing nice.
Douglas,
You're welcome,
Ms. Barbour, you are suing Ms. Middleton, your, I guess, former friend, for $400 that you say she owes you because you worked some days for her and that she refuses to pay you. Tell me what's going on.
Yes. On July the 29th, the 30th, 31st, and August 1st, Lorraine called me and asked me would I work in her place because she was going on vacation. And so I said yes.
Okay,
so
where were you working?
It was independent living.
Okay, at a facility?
Yes.
Okay.
And so we do that all the time. You know, it's a group of 4 women, and we switch out. So when any one of us have to have something to do, we ask the person that we're working for to work in our place so that our pay would never change.
So rather than having your employer pay whoever worked, you would just switch off and owe each other.
And then that way, you know, you won't lose.
So according to you, she owes you 4 days.
Right.
Okay, are you still working at the same place?
No, our job went out in December.
Why? What happened?
She went into assisted living.
Oh, because you were caring for a particular person.
Right.
Okay. And then she went into an assisted living facility, yes. So that was that.
Right. Her daughter put her into assisted living.
How is the lady doing?
I went to see her about 3 weeks ago. She's doing fine. And when I
What'd you go see her for?
I just went to visit.
Okay, good. That's what I wanted to hear. Yeah. You know, all right. So in any event, so because the job ended, you didn't get a chance to work those days, right?
Yes.
Okay. Did you work any of them?
Those 4 days, I have on my calendar that I worked 1, but, Your Honor, when we started this agreement, no money changed hands. We would work for each other. If
no money was contemplated to change hands.
Exactly.
I understand that, but if force majeure takes place and through circumstances outside of your control, the job is no longer there,
yes.
Then how are you going to pay her her 4 days, if not through money?
Yes. Okay, what I said to Dorothy, because when I first initially met Dorothy, and she is still working for a gentleman in that building, so I said to Dorothy, I says, well, Dorothy, you know, our agreement was that we would change time, but I will gladly fill in for you with this other gentleman that you work for 7 days a week. I worked for him a lot of times.
Did you ever speak to the gentleman to see if you could do that arrangement?
My client that I still work for, when I mentioned it to him, he said no. He said no. He said, if she come in and assist me, you still losing money from me. She's going to work for him to pay me.
Because you have to find somebody who's willing to obligate himself to the risk that you're going to sue him for payment. Like, I wouldn't get involved in that.
Yeah, and so he told me no. And
that fellow's still got a very sharp mind.
That's the same thing that he said to me.
Yeah.
He said, I don't want to have nothing to do
with your issue, right?
He said,
so
I do not want to have...
I understand that that's the arrangement that you guys have, but you can't pay her the way the arrangement you guys have, and it's not her fault that you can't. So how does she get paid her days, right? Because it's not fair that she worked for you and she doesn't get any money.
Yes. Your Honor.
She says she did work one of the days. Is that not true?
No. Altogether, it was 6 days in all because she had another client to call me when she was down in Virginia.
Does that ring a bell?
So that she wouldn't have
So
to...
you did 2 of the 6 days, leaving 4 days.
Right,
is what you're saying.
right.
Yeah.
And then, see, I can't afford to pay for somebody's vacation, you know, because I don't even go on vacation myself.
You need a vacation. Who
Who
are the people you have with you?
This is
Friends?
Amina Love, yes, in Georgetown. I've been knowing them for over 40 years before my children was born.
What kind of friends are you? Grab this woman and take her on a vacation.
If you
A
read...
witness or moral support?
I am a witness for both of them.
Oh, come on up. Come on up.
Okay, it turns out that the plaintiff worked 4 extra days that the defendant should have worked. Does the plaintiff get that money from the defendant?
They made a deal to pay each other off. So if you work the extra days, then you work the extra days.
So it's tough luck for the plaintiff.
Tough luck.
You agree?
That's the way the cookie crumbles. That's right.
Really? You agree with that?
Yeah, I agree.
Why, because he's got his arm around you or something?
No.
Yes. Going inside the courtroom.
I started working for the lady that Dorothy is talking about. As time went on and the lady got worse, her daughter asked me, did I know someone else? So our employer, she said, I'll give them every 4 days.
So that her mother would have full-time care.
Right.
Right.
What happened was I informed both Dorothy and Lorraine that the lady was getting worse. She was 98. She'll be 99
God
in
bless
May.
her.
And she is a blessing. She's not in a wheelchair, a walker, or a cane. And every Monday we went to the mall, Tuesday lunch and learn, Wednesday a concert, Thursday Florham Park, and they will tell you she's spiffy. The first lady on the New York Stock Exchange, and would tell jokes. You could walk in and wake her up, and she'll say, is my teeth in? Did I sleep? Where's my teeth? She wasn't crotchety, cranky, or anything. But I told both Dorothy and Lorraine, I love them both, that things were getting worse, and our employer was thinking about putting her in an Alzheimer's unit, which she did. We were told it would be a month or more before we would lose our jobs. And I know that the time was trying to be made up, but she was able to get in the facility earlier, and that's where I guess the mix-up was.
I don't really need to hear any more from either one of you. I mean, I think nobody disagrees on what the facts are.
Right.
The facts are the facts. You know, my dad is 91, my mother's 88, and I would feel so privileged to have any of you taking care of them because you're all lovely, lovely women, okay? However, we have an issue, and the issue is that we have a contract between 2 people where the method of payment is X, and X can't happen anymore. So I have to figure out something that does work, okay? There's only 2 choices, work or money. There aren't any other choices. So I am going to find that, in fact, you owe her the remaining 4 days and $400. And I'm going to rule in favor of the plaintiff in the amount of the $400. That's my verdict. Good luck, ladies.
All right, so here comes the defendant out here. So, well, she collects her money for the days because you couldn't pay her back in days. Any argument with that?
No comment.
Well, you get how it had to be that way, right?
Well, you know what? Because there were times Dorothy had more than enough time to get those days in. And I am not angry.
Right,
I can't get caught up into that kind of thing.
All right, good.
But she did have the opportunity to get her days in. She
right.
did.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
All right. All right, step on in here. How are you feeling coming out of the courtroom here?
I feel fine.
You have to sue your friend?
Well, you have to do what you have to do, you know, and I don't hold any grudges. I just can't afford to pay someone to go on a vacation,
Yeah.
you
Okay.
know?
How come your friends haven't taken you on a vacation? What's the matter with you?
Yeah, well,
Ladies, when are you going to take her on a vacation?
We do go on vacations together. We just haven't done it recently.
All right.
All 3 of us have gone on vacation together.
All right, okay. Well, enjoy. All right, see ya. Harvey?
okay, thank you.
Okay, Kurt, you know, if you make a deal with somebody and it's not a straight cash transaction, all the more reason you need to nail it down in some kind of writing, probably an email. It will protect you. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.